Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome to my channel, Christina the Bookworm. Yay! Jazzy fingers. No. Hi guys, welcome to another video from my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I was able to read in the month of March and all the books that I plan on reading for the month of April. So if you would like to find out more about the books I'm talking about, stay tuned. So as you all might know, I am a college student, and juggling classes, a job, and being a head over an organization called Best Buddies, it can be kind of hectic to fit other things that don't fall under that category into my schedule. So this month I was able to read 3 books, and the 3 books were a part of a series called the Ugly series by Scott Westerfield, and I was really proud of myself, especially since last month was Best Buddies month and we had to plan a lot of activities and basically center around celebrating the organization within itself. I'm glad that I was able to fit in time to do other things besides that in school and work, and do some reading and catch up on other things like TV shows, you know, the important things. So the 3 books that I was able to read this month was Uglies by Scott Westerfield, Pretties by Scott Westerfield, and Specials by Scott Westerfield. I already did a review on this book, and I will leave a link in here in the description box that'll direct you to that review. But just to sum it up, I give a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I originally read this book in middle school, love it just the same, probably even more since I'm paying attention to details and a lot of the hidden messages behind the story, the underlying story, and you know, I love it just the same, and I would recommend it to anyone of any age, particularly females, because I feel like it deals with the society's perception of beauty and who dictates that. Do we let society dictate it, even though it's kind of a messed up, screwed up concept of beauty? Generally it is. Or do we ourselves dictate what we, you know, believe is beautiful, which basically means, do we allow ourselves to feel beautiful without having other factors from the outside, you know, tell us that we're beautiful or not beautiful? So my other video, I said that I was going to do a book review on Pretties, but I decided not to because I just didn't enjoy this book as much as I did the Uglies book. And there were a couple of reasons why I didn't enjoy it as much. Number one, I felt there were a lot of unnecessary fillers in the book. There were about maybe between 20 and 40 or 50 pages that I feel like didn't need to be placed in the book for us to understand the general concept of the book. And when unnecessary fillers and stuff like that happens, it makes me just want to like gloss through the pages so that I can find some type of substantial information that kind of brings everything together, and I didn't see that in the book. I didn't really enjoy Shay's character, which might be a surprise to anyone who saw my Uglies review, because I stated in that video that I really related to Shay and her not wanting to do the pretty surgery because she felt like she wanted to be herself and she didn't want society changing her perception of how she saw herself and how Tally saw herself. Shay's character was really annoying and it was really getting at me, and I'm just like, I like you so much in the Uglies book, but like, I just want to slap you in this book. And I found myself relating a lot more to Tally in this book and even sympathizing with her a little bit more than I did in the Uglies book. So I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads, and you know, it's kind of hit or miss when you have trilogies and series. I feel like a lot of authors are trying to make all books into a trilogy or a series, and they're trying to drag it along, whether it be because they don't want to end the book, or maybe it's for some type of financial reason, because they know that with trilogies and series, more money comes in because you have, you know, the stories continue. Just like the Pretty Little Liars series, I feel like they've drug that book out for so long, and I ended up discontinuing my reading of the Pretty series, like after I think the 7th or 8th book, not because I didn't find it interesting, but I found that it was dragging along. And I used to buy my books from Borders, and back when the Pretty Little Liars series originally came out, the books were like $15, $18, and that's a lot to spend on a book when it's a series like that. And I didn't know about Amazon or online bookstores and stuff like that, so I stopped reading that book, and I just figured out not too long ago that they are still coming out with Pretty Little Liar books, so she's making a big profit off of that. So my whole point is that you know, sometimes it's good to just have a standalone book. You don't have to make everything into a series or a trilogy, especially if you can have a lot of impact in your first book, but it is what it is, and I still enjoy the Ugly series. And last but not least, the last book that I was able to fit in the month of March is Specials by Scott Westerfield, and this is basically about a special group of people who have super abnormal human abilities, including Tally, who have these special, unrealistic human abilities, and they kind of govern over the pretties, protecting and keeping the general rules and making sure that everyone is okay and that they're basically protecting the society. And I think I gave this one also a 3 out of 5 stars, just because I didn't really relate as much to this book, and instead of finding Shay annoying, I found Tally really annoying, and being inside her head from the very first page to the very last page just irritated me to no end. So in this book, you basically have the mind of ugly Tally. In this one, you have the mind of pretty Tally, who's a little bit aggravating at times. And in this book, you have the mind of special Tally, which isn't that great, and if I had to choose between pretty Tally and special Tally, I would take pretty Tally any day. In the last book, we see Tally as a special, and I'm starting to see an overarching theme with every book that I read. There isn't a very strong storyline like we see in the Uglies series. Okay, so you know, we have Tally who wants to be an ugly, and we have Shay who's kind of rebelling against society. And in Pretties, we kind of see the struggle between Tally wanting to either stay a pretty or sticking to her promise of having the brain of an ugly and helping defend the smoke. In the specials, we kind of see Tally rebelling strongly against the uglies and the smokes and wanting to be superior than everyone else, and it's kind of conflicting because there's so many different aspects of Tally's, but I don't feel like any of them tie in to one another. I don't know, and I'm reading extras trying to get through this one right now, and this does not have Tally or Shay, I don't believe, in this book. It's a new character, and her name is Aya. So this is a whole new person, and this is basically telling the story after a couple of years after Tally. So hopefully I'll like this one. I don't know, but I kind of got my full of Tally in these last 2 books. So now on to my April to be reads. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a TBR with exceptions because the books that I read are not always on track with what I say I'm going to read. Like if you saw my TBR for the month of March, then you know that none of these books were on my list besides I think the Uglies book, and that was all. And I had a couple of other books that I didn't even get to because I wanted to finish the Ugly series so bad. The next couple of books that I'm going to mention are books that I hope to read in April. If I don't, then I don't, but these are the books that I really want to read for the month of April. So the very first book is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and I said I was going to read this in the February TBR, I believe, and I didn't read it, and then I set it off for the So I'll put it off for March to be read. So hopefully I'm able to read this one in the month of April, since we have 30 days in April, so I should be good. The next book is Lord of the Flies by William Golding, and it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini, and I had this in one of my previous book hauls, and I'm pretty excited to read this book. The last book is Stone Angel by Carol O'Connell, and that's pretty much it. I'm hoping to do more videos this month. I ended up quitting my previous job because I used to work at my campus's bookstore. Now I work at the library, and it's so perfect for me. I've always wanted to work in a library or a real bookstore. So yeah, now I am literally a bookworm in the library. So you all wish me luck with that, and let me know what books you all read for this month and any books that you plan on reading for the month of April in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!